Please. The floor is yours, Mrs. Kusie.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you to our witnesses for being here today. Imagine this. You are a public servant. You are someone who has made the decision to come and help your country. I made this decision. I personally made this decision as a member of the Canadian Foreign Service. You swear that you will act in your best capacity possible for the best interest of this country. Now imagine that the worst situation for your nation occurs since wartime, a pandemic, and you are forced to make the best decisions possible that you can in your position for your nation with the information that you have. You do your best, you navigate the system, but things go wrong. The application that you are working on ends up to be a $54 million boondoggle, a stain on the government, which is already neck deep in boondoggles, another instance of possibly unethical behavior by this government, and certainly incompetent behavior by this government, and a definite lack of oversight. But you tried your best because you were a public servant. The stress of the investigation of this $54 million boondoggle gets to you. So you go on medical leave and you think things can't possibly get worse. But they do get worse, and they got worse for Cameron McDonald, who was a director general at CBSA, and Antonio Utano, who was an ADM at the Canada Border Services Agency. Things got worse for them after coming here, giving what they believed was truthful testimony, their heartfelt testimony, to speak truth to power, to speak truth to Canadians, when they were suspended, but not only suspended without pay. And for what reason? They claimed that they were misled by senior CBSA officials. They were intimidated, that this was retaliation, that this was an attempt to muzzle them, that this was the CBSA's opportunity to use them as a scapegoat. There were no allegations, no details, no evidence. What they did receive were threats that decisions would be made if they were not compliant. So, Ms. O'Gorman, I'm here to ask you today, on behalf of Mr. McDonald, on behalf of Mr. Utano, on behalf of public servants everywhere, on behalf of Canadians, why were Mr. McDonald and Mr. Utano suspended without pay?
CBSA is conducting an internal investigation. Neither of those individuals work for the CBSA right now.
Believe anything that you say today, these canned speaking notes, when both Mr. McDonald and Mr. Utano have stated that they were misled by senior CBSA officials as to who even chose ArriveCAN. This committee has found you not having spoken the truth before to this committee before. There's no reason we should believe this. Can you tell the committee then, what evidence do you have of Mr. McDonald and Mr. Utano for their suspension? Can you share with that, please? What evidence do you have for this committee?
I'm not using speaking points, and I don't believe I've been informed of not having told the truth to this committee. I did not take those actions. They don't work for me.
Well, we would like to know what evidence you had. That was my question. As well, their legal fees were being paid until this point of their suspension, and now they're no longer being paid. Why did you suspend paying their legal fees?
So the preliminary statements of fact were provided to their deputy heads, and I took decisions that are consistent with the Treasury Board policy on legal fees.
Yeah, this information isn't providing any new information to us, Ms. O'Gorman. Is this the type of treatment that CBSA whistleblowers can expect in the future? Is this the type of treatment that public servants can expect in the future? The CBSA was also made to know of threats against Mr. McDonald by Mr. Doan. What steps, then, can you tell us, did you take to protect Mr. McDonald from facing negative reprisals from higher-ups, please?
I heard that testimony here. There are processes and systems in place when somebody believes they've been subject to harassment. I'm trying to conclude an investigation. My interest is understanding what happened. I don't understand.
To speak the truth to people here today. Just tell Canadians, why were they suspended without pay? Share that with everyone.
I did not take that action, and it's not for me to talk about. Their
Okay.
deputy heads
Mr.
took that
Ozarski,
action.
There are accusations that the public safety minister at the time was wanting someone's head on a plate. How involved was that current minister in the building of ArriveCAN, and how involved was that minister's office in covering up the misconduct connected to the development of the ArriveCAN app?
Comments occurred after I retired.
I can
Again,
speak. I can speak
okay,
to that.
please go ahead, Ms. Uberman.
The Minister of Public Safety was informed by me that we were launching an investigation. He expressed concern over the nature of the allegations, and he indicated that he expected me to deal with any gaps that they showed and to go forward with the investigation and to let him know if there were any pertinent information that he should be aware of. He never said that he was looking for anybody's head on a platter.
Well, we were also
I'm
advised,
I apologize.
by
That
Ms.
is our time, Mrs.
Thank you.
Kusie. Ms.